I'm Jim.
And I'm Frank.
And I'm Jerry.
And this is the JFJ Conspiracy Podcast, where the shop talk is rock. Episode 147 coming at you right now.
Wow.
Holy mackerel, guys.
Yeah.
So much going on. I just read just 2 minutes before we came on that our buddies in KISS are in the process of doing a 5-part documentary on the End of the Road tour. So is that going to be the final DVD set, or
For anthology?
Are DVDs done? Do people buy those anymore?
I still do.
Yeah. Is it a streaming thing?
I think there's some DVDs they promised that haven't even gotten out yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Dubai. Can anybody say Dubai?
Yeah.
So
Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Goodbye, Dubai. Yeah.
I don't know that I need 5-part series of that tour that went on through COVID and everything.
They are going to keep punching tickets for that money train till it derails.
Yeah, they're milking that cash cow teat.
Oh, till it runs dry, till it derails.
Isn't there supposed to be like a biopic coming out? Or
yes, supposedly there was one
documentary of the band or something. I don't remember.
Another one. Yeah. A&E put one out a couple of years ago that was pretty good, but
trying to think where
they're doing a whole nother deal. And of course, the avatars they're promising are going to be better than ever.
Yeah.
I'm so done. I'm over it.
Yeah. I'll check out with my Hysteria box set. That's
there
it.
You go. Yeah.
That's it. Yep.
Oh well. Anybody have anything in the mail this week?
No mail for me.
No, me either. Jerry, nothing?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I said I've got a couple things coming, but it's always after the show, so we'll get to it in the next episode, I guess. What I want to say real quick before we get into some new music, Jerry, is I want to talk to the bands specifically. We reach out to you. Sometimes you reach out to us. You want to be on the show. We want you on the show. And all we ask in return is that you share the link, especially of the YouTube show, because we like people to see our faces. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I'm asking, I think we're some handsome devils myself.
You ain't kidding.
Who wouldn't want to look at this? Yeah.
I'm telling you, a little salt and pepper.
Oh, yeah. Right. So what I'm asking right now, if you're watching this video, episode 147, scroll down, hit the share, and share our episode with just one person, whether they like music or not.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. They may
appreciate it.
Yeah. You may turn somebody on to a whole new avenue, because I know podcasts are kind of on the down. They're on the downhill slide. People are busy. They don't have a whole lot of time. So share the show. That's all I ask.
Yes, please.
All right. So with that, Jerry, how about some new music?
I do, Jim and Frank. I have a band out of Boulder, Colorado called Razorbill. The name of the album there just came out last 3 weeks ago. It's called What's Not. And then the name of this song Frank's going to spin is What's Not to Smile About. And Billy Shapiro, this is his baby. He asked us to share. Folks out in Conspiracy Land, just go to @Razorbill Band on Instagram, and that'll give you all their links to their. I think he mentioned in the email that they weren't on Spotify yet, but that'll give you a sneak ahead link, and that's @Razorbill Band on Instagram. Please hit that up. Thank you, Billy.
Cool.
Okay, yeah. Billy Shapiro, lead vocals and guitar. Josh Carpenter, drums. We got Jackson Swartz. Now, hang on now. Jackson Swartz and Gruber, nailed it. Mia Stegner, and last but not least on bass is Ethan Wilcox. This is Billy Shapiro's baby. Him and Josh first met, a couple of years ago, and they just started practicing together, etc. And that led to advertisements and people joining. And the final one to join was Ethan Wilcox on bass. Music and lyrics by Billy Shapiro. Thanks for getting back to Shake and Abe. Performed by Billy, recorded and produced by Mia Stegner and Billy Shapiro. And again, out of Boulder, Colorado, Razorbill with What's Not to Smile About.
What's not to smile about? I
Oh,
wouldn't smile
wow.
about that static at the end, but
Yeah, you know,
that's a good
knows how to
ending.
know how to end a song. Yeah.
Yeah, Jim, what'd you think?
Not only was it a good ending, it was a good intro.
Yeah, I like the intro.
I love the arrangement on this. I thought this was really, really a cool tune, and I thought the mix was very nice.
Yeah. I really appreciated, and it took me a couple listens to appreciate it fully, but the vocalist and the where it sat in the song, because it had that Cars kind of vibe where I'm not screaming, I'm just singing to you,
Yeah.
and give me a listen. I
And
really,
it's, go ahead. I'm sorry. Frank.
no, I was just I really enjoyed that style of tune.
Yeah, little power poppy.
Mhm.
Yeah. A little bit I left out, gentlemen, if I may. This debut is a little angsty and colorful journey through ups and downs of the head and the heart. Musically influenced by bands like Weezer, Semisonic, and the Beatles. And again, Billy Shapiro is driving force behind this. Thank you, Billy. And everybody. Thank you. Razorbill.
Razorbill.
Yes,
Really like that.
I do too.
All right. Well, again, check them out on Bandcamp and Instagram, and we'll definitely.
I saw them on iTunes, Bandcamp for sure. Not sure if they're on Spotify yet, but if you go to at Razorbill Band on Instagram, you can get the links to get stuff ahead of time. So,
Oh, very nice.
Thank you.
Yes.
That was great.
All right. Moving ahead. Last episode, or for this episode, is my pick for the classic album and our top 3 songs of a band. And I told you it was a sentimental favorite, and it is. It was Great White for the top 3 songs. And with the passing of Jack Russell, it was just, to me, it was fitting to let's look back a little bit. And I could have went with all the easy covers and the hits and the videos and all that kind of stuff, because in their heyday, they did a lot of tunes that everybody was familiar with.
Yeah.
But my top 3 tunes, let's start with 1989 and a song that featured Mr. Tony Montana on bass, Anthony Cardenas as we know him, Mr. Bone. Love that song, and that's off the album Twice Shy. A second favorite song of mine is a throwaway B-side that was on a 45 that I got that later popped up on a couple of their greatest hits style albums and compilations. But how about Wasted Rock Ranger? That's a fun little acoustic tune that I really enjoyed. And the final one is a cover tune, but it's not one of their hits. It was the Steve Marriott classic Afterglow. They knocked out of the park. Jack Russell sang the hell out of that song. Loved it. Those are my top 3. Jerry, what about you?
Right off the bat, the Once Bitten. I just love it to this day. And our friend Tony's on bass.
All right.
I love, and I don't normally say this about redoing tunes by one of my favorite bands, but their version of Substitute by The Who.
Ah, very good.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Just, they did it so different that it was great.
Yep.
And then here's the sleeper that I had forgotten about, gentlemen. Face the Day.
I love that too.
I'm goosebumping right now, guys. Mm-hmm. I went through all the stuff, and as soon as I go, I remember that. It might not be happy-go-lucky song, but I like that song. So yeah,
and that was a great cover tune. Also,
that's a great. Yep. I did not know it was the cover. Yeah, I love that Face the Day.
Jerry, those were all covers.
Yeah,
you're kidding. Well, I didn't have any Great White records, so that's my excuse.
There you go.
But those are the ones I like. Those are my favorite.
Well, a lot of their covers were singles, so
yeah. And real quickly on Substitute, they got a hold of Pete Townsend and asked him to change some of the lyrics to be more contemporary for the American audience, and he said, "No, you do my song the way I wrote it, or don't do it at all." They said okay, and then they changed the lyrics anyway. All right.
In typical Great White style.
Yeah, that's right.
Thanks,
Jim,
Pete.
what about you?
Okay, so first one, Out of the Night.
Oh, yes.
but the original version
Yes.
off the Out of the
EP.
Night EP.
Yes. A little slower, I think, isn't it? I know it's harder.
It's a little faster, and they changed
Faster.
the background vocals. The arrangement's different,
Right.
and I just thought it hit better in the original version.
Yeah.
They changed the melody a little bit on the LP, and I was like, I don't think it's as good.
Yeah, they made it radio
Anyway,
friendly.
but I still love the song.
Right.
Number 2, also Face the Day.
All right.
Great version.
All right, Jaime. Yes.
Angel City song. And then the last one, I really had a hard time picking a third song. I knew right off the bat those first two. I almost went with House of Broken Love.
Yeah. A little slower tune, yeah.
But I think good
Bluesy tune, yeah.
ballad, so bluesy.
Yeah.
I went with Rock Me.
Oh, okay. No.
Mainstream hit, I know,
Yeah.
but
That
still.
was on my short list. That was on my short list, Jim.
Yeah.
But cool tune nonetheless.
Yeah.
And I got to say, for me personally, listening to Mark Kendall play is just amazing. He has such a great sound with a Fender Stratocaster, and he made that thing sing so well. Love the early stuff they did. Just great. So Great White will always be one of my favorites. They had their moment, and they have quite a large catalog when you go back and look. They put out quite a few albums. I did some Zeppelin covers and things like that. And they're worth checking out there because they have a large variety. And then Terry Elos, he's a Frenchman. He sang with them for 2 or 3 albums.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. If you check out their last couple albums, they actually studio albums they put out. Terry Eos is the one who's singing on the. Changed the dynamic of the band.
Sure.
But not in a bad way, because you remember how strong his vocals were with XYZ.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Check it out. It's worth giving it a listen. And Terry, I apologize for forgetting how to pronounce your last name.
That's what we do, Terry. Yeah. That's what we do.
We mispronounce names all the time.
Yeah, we should just.
We're champions of it, actually.
That's right. But we own it.
That's it, for sure. Okay, Jerry, you've got the next pick, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, hold on to it. We'll get to you in a little bit.
Hanging on.
All right.
Yep.
Right now, I want to talk about a band out of Boise, Idaho called Floating Witch's Head. And they are a trio. Travis Ward on guitars and vocals, Michael Mitchell on drums, and Eric Gilbert on keyboards. They classify themselves as garage and psych and swamp and proto-punk. But mostly they're all around good people. They just want to make sure you know that. The full-length album that came out in July 2024 is called You Look Like a Rainbow. And the song I'm going to play for you is called Mousetrap. It's off that album. And they also have an EP that came out in 2022, a 6-song EP called Medicine Man Demos. That's worth giving a listen also. But the album I'm talking about is You Look Like a Rainbow. And it comes in a red and orange swirl vinyl that I'm going to go donate some blood or plasma or something so I can send it out. I got to have it. It looks so sharp. So anyways, you can check them out on Facebook, Instagram. They're on iTunes as well. Floating Witch's Head. And the song is called Mousetrap.
But you don't ever let go.
and there's Floating Witch's Head with Mousetrap.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, what are your thoughts on that?
I like that driving bass. Just that, just through the whole. I just like the way it was recorded. It's really raw sounding,
Very
and
fuzzy.
yeah, I liked it.
Yep.
I liked it. But that hypnotic, I like that.
Very good.
Yes, that'll
Jim.
work.
Great. Jim, what are your thoughts?
I think Floating Witch's Head is like a great name for this band.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect with a name like that, but
Right.
it's got a sort of grudgy, but like almost swampy vibe in the vocals, like a little John Fogerty kicking in there, right?
Yep.
Like, but it's got like a little bit of a spooky feel. That's why.
Right.
That's why I was thinking Floating Witch's Head, not a bad name.
Yes. And you can't beat swirling red and orange vinyl. Come on.
No,
My Lord.
No, you
That
can't.
sounds so tasty to me.
Yes, it does.
Hypnotic for you.
Yes. So you can check them out on iTunes, Bandcamp. They're on Facebook, Instagram. Check them out. Floating Witch's Head out of Boise, Idaho. You the rest of the album is just as good. I chose that particular song as one of the shorter tunes. It's usually why I do it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the better tunes are longer, but man, I hate to eat up all that airtime on that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, check them out when you get a chance. So moving right along, let's talk about a classic album. And I tell you what, I didn't realize this was Motley Crue's best-selling, best critically acclaimed album that they had when I picked it. I really didn't.
No,
because I'm not a big Motley Crue fan. I've got a few of their records off
This is
and
the
on.
only one I had. It's the only one I
Very
owned.
good. We're talking about Dr. Feelgood. And as I'm doing some research on it, holy mackerel, Steven Tyler, Robin Zander, Jack Blades, Bryan Adams, and a host of others are on this record.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think Bob Rock worked with all those bands.
And after now this is one thing I thought was kind of funny. After Metallica heard this album, they called up Bob Rock and says, "You have to produce us. You have to get on our next project." And it was Saint Anger, and not one of their better produced albums. So he started. I don't know if he finished that album, but Lars wanted him to produce that album.
Well, he produced the Black Album, though.
Yes. Yeah, I believe so.
That was before Saint Anger, though.
He was, but they had gone their own way and, said, he calls them, you have to do this. And I don't know. It's their fifth album, Motley Crue's fifth album, their last one with Vince Neil until 1997. This one came out in 1989.
Yeah.
And not knowing, I thought Girls came out after this, but it was before.
Oh, no.
And the only reason I thought that is because Girls didn't have that hair metal glam feel to it, where this album kind of still did to me. This was a very radio friendly 5 singles.
Yep.
We're talking about Dr. Feelgood, Kickstart My Heart, Without You, the ballad, Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away, and Same Old Situation as the singles. It's a lot of singles, 6-time platinum.
Dang.
But other tracks got airplay.
Yeah.
I heard Slice of Your Pie.
Right.
A couple other ones. You couldn't get away from this record when it came out.
No. It did go to number 1. And like I said, 6-time platinum here.
Heavy rotation on MTV, the videos.
Right.
Heavy.
And, they had I didn't know they did platinum for videos also, but I guess
I never thought about that.
Maybe Kickstart My Heart was their best video. I have to double check, but one of them got a platinum award just for how many times it was played.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, MTV was all over this.
Right.
Yeah, it was before they lost track of where they were headed.
But
MTV, not Motley Crue.
Right.
They're a band that was made for MTV, though, essentially.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
I laugh because, again, produced by Bob Rock, and I was looking through some of the notes, and he plays bass on a couple of the tunes, so it's noted. And I would venture to guess he probably played all of it from what we're finding out now.
Right.
Well, interestingly, so the notes I read, that when they went in to record this was our first with Bob Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicky had made some kind of offhanded comment about, like, he goes, I'm not even sure I played bass on the first 4 records. He goes, I think they were bringing somebody in at night to do my parts.
Go over stuff, yeah.
And Bob told him, well, tough. You're doing every single note on this record. But then Bob did come back and play on a couple of tunes, right?
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that it says all lyrics by Nicky Sixx, but it doesn't say that about his bass playing. You know.
From what I understand, sort of a sticking point between he and Vince. Vince wanted to write,
right,
and Nicky insisted on writing all the lyrics.
Yeah, I think that had a lot to do with him leaving the band. Also, wasn't quite. Vince always said Nicky put too many words in a sentence. He said it was too hard to sing his song. You could see it live now, but his lyrics there was just too much going on in a breath for him to sing.
Maybe too hard for some.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but again, go back and look at Vince Neil's solo album, like Carved in Stone, or a couple of the other ones. There's some pretty good albums that, you know, they've got some good tunes on there. He played with Steve Stevens on one of them.
Yeah.
So, you know, no slouch in his own, in my, not the lyricist that Nicky Sixx was. And of course he had a lot of help writing those songs, but
I worked with the guy who wrote with Vince.
Yeah.
Nothing that ever made it onto record or anything.
Right.
He was working on some collaboration with him.
Very good. I don't know. I think Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away is my favorite tune on this record. But I do like Kickstart My Heart. Again, we heard those songs so much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's off and on. I didn't care for the videos of them. They were so corny. They were hard to watch, to look at, and the way they mugged up for the cameras and stuff. Didn't care for that. But one of those 2 songs, and it's, you know, not on any given day, is one or the other. What about you, Jerry?
Dr. Feelgood. That intro alone,
right?
Just that driving thunder. I mean, it's still, as many times as I've heard it. An honorable mention, if I may, gentlemen, a ballad, Without You.
Like that one, huh?
And I usually don't like ballads from rock bands. I love that one. Maybe it's because heavy rotation on MTV. Maybe that's where I was in my life, in my head. But man, I love that. That's my honorable mention. And a ballad.
A ballad, yeah. That was mandatory back then.
Yeah, had to have your one. Yep.
Real quickly, Jim, before we get to your favorite tune, I also read in Korea, the first 2 tracks, Dr. Feelgood and the one before that, TNT, are not on that album in Korea for some reason. There's no reason on why they were omitted.
Was the album still called Dr. Feelgood, even though it's
still called Dr.
track?
Feelgood, but just couldn't have the track? Yeah.
Weird.
Wow.
So go ahead. What was your favorite tune on that track? On that album, excuse me.
You know, commercially, this was a really great record.
Right.
Probably a toss up between Kickstart My Heart and Same Old Situation, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It's weird looking back on this record now. When I was listening to it, I was like, boy, this thing sure sold a lot of copies, but not a lot of substance on this record.
It's Motley Crue.
Yeah, I was probably pretty impressed with it when it came out. I didn't run out and buy it because kind of was just like,
right.
It's Motley Crue. And
yeah.
But it is just so extremely well produced. I mean, and I was thinking, like, well, maybe it's one of those things, like, kind of everything Bob Rock touches goes gold, but not the case. I went through, like, his list of everything he's produced, and some of it was big hits and some of it was
hit and miss.
Yeah, really hit and miss.
All right.
It's depending on the band.
These guys were the worst band ever to produce because they all came in, all they want to do is drink and fight. He says getting them to actually play their instruments was
and do anything.
Yeah. Everything but make the record.
Yeah.
And when you've made it to a certain pinnacle of success, who cares? They probably figured Bob Rock was going to handle it all anyways. And or he
But
quit.
I think he went on to produce the next 3 albums or something like
he
that,
stuck
right?
with them for a minute, I believe.
And that last EP that they put out, he produced that too.
Yeah. Well, he's no dummy when it comes to where the money's at.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So, he's one of those producers like Ezrin and a few other handful that you say usually what they touch, gets played on the radio. Makes some money.
It was a bit formulaic, and I went back and read some of the lyrics, and I thought, well, it sounds like something that was written by guys in their mid to late 20s. Right. It doesn't make a lot of sense as someone my age when you go, you're just like going,
no, it doesn't
really?
age well. Did not age.
Now,
let me ask both you guys, because I know you both heard the first album. Right?
My favorite.
Your favorite. I was going to say, which one's better to you?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll even ask you to go back to the Leather Records version, which was
that's
raw
my favorite
as can be. I love that album. I'll listen to that one.
Yeah, their debut was pretty raw, but I'm
still one of my favorite records.
Yeah, it's very good, but I'll take the polish.
I don't care. Fight me.
Yeah, you like things tidied up.
Yeah, I do. Not that either one's bad.
Right.
They're both good.
If somebody were coming to me and they said like, oh, Motley, I've never been impressed with Motley Crue, I would say, look, go back and listen to the original version, Leather Records, listen to their first record, and come back and talk to me.
Right.
If it was somebody who really enjoys music and they said like, where do I start? I'd say, well, I would listen to all of them. Right. So you can kind of see the arc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. But it doesn't, I don't think it gets better after this album.
Well,
I think it's a downhill slide. I love the Karabi record. There's a couple songs on there that just kill. But overall, I don't think the songwriting's that.
Right. It's the same stuff.
It's not hooky enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the one after that, Tattoo You or whatever that one was. And I think that's the one that did not have Tommy Lee on.
Tommy on it.
One of them after that had Randy Castillo, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who was on Generation Swine? Do you know?
Maybe that's the one. There's one of them. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And again, that's that record's just kind of a throwaway.
Right. And the one after the final one, I guess, the St. Los Angeles or whatever, I could never listen to that one all the way through. It is produced so loudly and in your face. I could never listen to it. So I can't even tell you any of the tunes on that one.
Well, somebody was saying it's basically a 6 a.m. record. Isn't that the
probably is
the gripe?
Yeah. DJ Ashba or whatever playing guitars, because that's kind of what I've heard happen. They omitted Mick all the way around. So
wow.
I don't know. That's again, I'm not a big enough Motley fan to know the ins and outs of what happened. Early on, listen to them. Girls. I go back to that album, and when you're talking about lyrics, they've never been about rocket science. Never.
No.
So you get what you get, and
I think that album was a step backwards.
It might have been from what came before that, because they were so glam.
Yeah, the money's kicking in, the booze is kicking in.
This is a very disappointing record. I think there's maybe just a couple songs on it that I thought like, oh, this is decent. The rest of it's
filler.
Right.
Yeah.
But by Nicky's own admission, he was too strung out at that point.
Right.
They were struggling to get enough songs to even make a full album. So not their most creative period.
Yeah. And again, MTV carried them an awful long way.
Oh yeah.
On that album. So all right. Well, that's enough Motley Crue for me. Jerry, again,
I hear
you've got the next pick.
I'm ready.
The reason I had picked it originally is I was going through some records and I remembered I had bought it because it's on green vinyl.
Right.
It was, and I thought, hey, let's go back and talk about this.
That was a good revisit. Like I said, gentlemen, it's the only one I owned.
Yeah.
It's the only Crue I had. So
very good. Yeah, with 5 singles, you can't go wrong.
No.
10 or 11 songs. That's not
and
bad.
then like Jim said, heard a couple other ones on the radio.
Yeah.
So, not bad.
All right. Okay. Well, let's move ahead. And Jim, you've got some music for us. Let's talk about it.
I do. Where's my notes?
Oh,
Here we go. So, band we've had on the podcast now, maybe 3, maybe this is number 4. Not really sure. Cheap Cassettes. I've got a new album coming out called They'll Never Forgive You for Pop. Band out of Seattle, Washington. Charles Matthews on vocals and guitar, Kevin Parkhurst on drums, Mike Isberg on bass, Scott Sutherland on background vocals and guitars. This is the first single off the new record. It's called Bad Xerox. So go ahead and drop the needle in the groove, Frank.
I got the news the other day. She was done and she was gone away. She'd been seen dancing slow with a man that could have been my clown. She's got a bad Xerox of me. I'm not so blind that I cannot see. She got a bad Xerox of me. All right, all right. He greets himself, he's in a band. Oh, well, he's old enough to be her dad. The way he walks, the way I walk, the way he talks is just the way I talk. She's got a bad Xerox of me. I'm not so blind that I cannot see. She's got a bad Xerox of me. All right, all right. All right, all right. All right, all right. All right, all right. All right. I got the news the other day. She was done and she was gone away. She'd been seen dancing slow with a man that could have been my clown. She's got a bad Xerox of me. I'm not so blind that I cannot see. She's got a bad Xerox of me. All right, all right. All right, all right. All right, all right. All right, all right. All right. All right, all right. All right, all right. All right, all right. All right, yeah.
and the Cheap Cassettes with Bad Xerox. Now, there is an instance of some clever writing.
Very.
Really like that.
Love
has
that.
that upbeat guitar
Great.
tune and fantastic lyrics. Jerry, what are you thinking?
I agree with what you just said. Don't take themselves too serious. Great lyrics, great music, everything. I like the way it was recorded. It's like they're having fun. Like they're having fun.
Yep.
And it sounds really great. I like that.
Yep.
I love that. Yeah, Cheap Cassettes. Keep having them on.
There you go.
Love that. Love that.
And do we have a release date for the new album?
I think it is out now.
Okay.
They're pressing vinyl, and I just saw the vinyl got pushed back. I guess the press is backed up at the moment. So
all right. Okay.
push
Definitely
back
look out for that.
So anyway, find them on Bandcamp. I just love these guys. I love everything they do. And
Yep.
let me just add in what a great guitar solo in there too.
Yes, it was.
Just like tasty
Right to the point.
Well delivered.
Yep.
Yeah.
perfection.
It was very good.
Pretty much. Yeah.
All right, that's the Cheap Cassettes. Check them out. All right, guys. Jerry, you've got the pick for the next 3 songs, top 3 tunes of a band. What would that be?
It's not a band, and this is in difference to our good buddy Jeffrey Brenneman. who mentioned something that I mentioned, and we went back and forth, and it's going to be your favorite three by Tom Jones.
Very nice. I already,
Right?
I
Oh,
already
that's
got
not
it.
unusual.
That's not
No,
unusual.
no, it's no, it's not unusual.
That man is 84 years old and
He
still
was-
belting it.
He was laying it out there. I could
Yeah.
not believe it, and that's how Jeffrey and I started messaging.
I got you.
But based on that, I said he sounds great. I
Yeah.
can't believe this, and we were just all in agreement. Of course, he's 84. He doesn't have the moves like he used to. Who does? I don't.
need him. He
But
don't need
boy,
him.
can he sing?
Yeah.
Can he still sing?
Yeah,
My gosh.
it was so funny because before he posted
Excuse
that,
me.
I mean, minutes before he posted that, I was watching a video of Frankie Valli lip syncing,
Oh, that guy's gone.
and it was
that's
actually
sad.
sad to
sad.
watch.
It is.
And I guess he actually did an interview with People Magazine saying, nobody is making me do this. I'm getting up there because I want to. Could have
It's-
fooled me, Frankie.
It's hard to watch. And then he
Yeah.
released a big statement, and all the replies were, "There's no way
Yeah.
he re-released that statement. There's
I
no
know
way."
it. Exactly.
And if you're his handlers, as long as he can keep standing up there,
And the
you're
checks
making
keep
money.
rolling in.
You're making money. Yeah. No, it was sad to see, Frank. You're right.
But then we see these videos of Tom Jones, and I was watching to
Oh.
make sure he was singing. And you know how
Same
you know
here.
he's singing is the songs he has changed. They're
Yeah.
they're not that 60s.
They're not. No.
He's toned them
Less
down.
zip. Yeah.
Yeah, but yet they're still good because he's got that voice and that
That's
magic.
unreal. 84. My
Tom
gosh.
Jones, love it.
Yeah. Favorite
All right.
three.
That's easy. Now, how about a classic album for us to revisit?
We're gonna go Hall and Oates, Big Bam Boom.
All
Oh.
right. Let me write that down.
Try to
Lots
get
of hits
that.
on that too.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is. Yes, there is. And yeah, I remember that was just all over the place when it came out. Same thing with MTV. Just I don't know how many. If I looked at the title tracks of all the, I'd say 4 of them were on MTV as videos.
What,
be.
what
Maybe
was
more.
the big hit on that record?
Is that Maneater? Hang on, let me go. Okay, with Dance on Your Knees, Out of Touch,
Out
Modern
of Touch
Love.
is the one I was thinking of.
Some Things Are Better Left Unsaid, which I like. Yeah,
Very good.
yeah.
That's another band that it's sad what has happened with the business with those two.
It is. You know,
Yeah.
you've
Now, let me
done
ask
so
you
much
this.
together.
You're in a 50-50 arrangement.
Collaboration, yeah.
And I want to sell my 50% because we're not doing anything anymore. Why does that affect you?
It shouldn't at all.
I mean, I don't know legally if there's something involved there that Daryl Hall, if he's afraid that the new owners of that 50% are going to be able to do whatever the heck they want with his music because he still owns 50% of his rights.
I don't know why you'd sell it.
And well, he needs the money. He wants to
Oh,
take care of
really?
his daughter, his kids, that type of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
I have no problem with him selling it. The problem is Daryl Hall being upset about it because he thinks someone's going to be able to manipulate his music.
Yeah.
Use Maneater in a t-shirt
yeah.
commercial or something.
Right.
Hot dog
But
commercial.
you're 50% owner. You would think you would have some say in that too. So I
Sure.
don't know the legalities of it, but
Yeah.
maybe that's just it. He didn't want the hassles of having to fight somebody every time they want to use a song.
Mhm.
And Daryl
Understand
Hall's still
too.
performing. He's
Who
still out there
knows?
playing. But anyways, that's again, when you say music business, that takes all the fun right out of it.
Business is the correct term. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jerry, you got anything you'd like to add before we get out of here tonight?
Folks out in Conspiracy Land, thank you for watching and listening. Please, bands that we played today, please share with your peeps.
Please.
We've got Razorbill, we've got Floating Witch's Head, and Cheap Cassettes, and it's out there. Bandcamp, Instagram, it's all out there. Spotify, streaming services. We appreciate your support and keep rocking.
All right. And most of all, stay fresh, cheese bags. Now,
Especially in this heat.
Every
yes.
single time, Jaime. Yeah.
Jim, what about you?
Well, if you made it this far, smash the like button, subscribe, ring that notification bell, slide into your DMs every couple of weeks, thereabouts, when we're on target.
Pretty good.
Leave a comment down below. What
Yeah,
are your
we've been
favorite
on a
Great
roll
White
lately.
songs? What do you think of Motley Crue? What do you think of Dr. Feelgood? What do you think of Tom Jones? What do you think of Frankie Valli?
It was hard to watch. Yeah.
Can I add something real quick?
Yeah.
In
Do
the
whatever you
beginning-
like. It's your show.
No,
your
it's not my show. During Dr. Feelgood, I don't remember which song it is, but when there's a doctor calling Dr. Blair or whatever, call this number or whatever, that's the exact same recording that was used by Queensryche 2 years earlier.
In
Exact-
Operation Mindcrime?
Yes.
Operation Minecraft. Oh, really?
Yeah, so go back and check that out. That's also
I gotta go. I gotta listen to that.
Oh,
now.
it's like a stock
sound
like a
bite.
stock audio.
recording, right?
Stock
Yeah.
audio. Yeah.
Yeah. But my son
Wow.
Dominic had pointed it out to me, and then I read it on Wikipedia today when I was going over all the notes on
Funny.
the album. It's like, son of a gun, all that money
Wow.
and you're using the same stuff.
Yep.
So, all right.
Didn't seem to hurt him any.
I
No.
don't think so. I
No.
don't think so. So, Jim, why don't you take us on home?
Shop's closed.
All
We
right.
haven't had any bloopers on the end in a while.
No, because you know what? We haven't had.
We've been
Cut
on
out
a
much.
roll.
Yeah.
I thought
Except
there'd
for
be
my-
something on there for me freezing up.
No.
Or me
No.
trying to pronounce Jackson Schwarzendruber.
Well, that might be there on this
I
next
thought
one.
I was going to throw a cap off my tooth with that one.
Thanks.
Schwarzendruber.